Hi, this is Jay from BioHackly. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to set up a steam sauna from Longevity Resources. I got this sauna about 1.5 years ago, so this is also going to be a testimonial video. I've made some notes here because for anybody that's trying to buy a sauna today, I've done a huge amount of homework 1.5 years ago for like 3 or 4 months, and I continue to do that homework to see if there's a better unit out there. So I got some good points that'll help you make a really good decision and make the right decision on buying a steam sauna. So first of all, the one thing I want to say about Longevity Resources that I couldn't find with any other sauna manufacturers out there is that they are quality and safety approved to CSA and UL standards by QAI, which is a laboratory called Quality Auditing Institute. Those seals of approval are easy to obtain if your product is high quality, but if you don't have a high quality product, you'll never get them. I don't think that I've found any other saunas on the market that actually have both quality and safety approved to CSA and UL standards. Please make sure you look for that. That's actually the most important thing, because anytime you have a unit that contains electricity and water, it's good to have something that's quality and safety approved to CSA and UL standards. So as I mentioned, I think Longevity is the only one that actually has that. So the other thing that they've done, which nobody else has done, and it's amazing actually, I think they've really nailed it with these double doors. This is just the most convenient system I've seen out there. And back 1.5 years ago when I was looking at buying one of these things, I did a whole bunch of homework on the forums and on the message boards and that kind of stuff. And I found that a lot of people that had the units from competitors that had a single door, the doors after a while, they didn't hang properly. They kind of leaned a little bit, or even when they closed the door didn't quite seal properly. I think Longevity's really nailed it with this. I mean, I have never seen another one with dual doors on the market either. They've really nailed it. You have doors that actually fit together absolutely 100% perfect. Yeah, they've really named it. So as far as I'm concerned, the double doors are the only way to go. That's my second part of advice after getting something that's UL and CSA quality approved. Now the other thing is that they have this ergonomic seat, which is super comfortable. You don't need to have a towel on here, you don't need to have a pillow on here or anything like that. It's just really comfortable. It's really heavy duty as well, so it can actually handle someone that's fairly heavy. The seat that they put in here also has 10 different height adjustment levels, so that if you had somebody in here that's really short or somebody that's really tall, you can make sure that they fit in properly, because you want to make sure that your neck sticks out so you can wrap a towel around your neck, you know, so that you're not letting any of the steam out of the system. And to do that, you might need to make sure that your seat is at the proper height. The other competitors that I found, only 4 levels. These guys 10, more than twice as many. They've really nailed it. I don't work for Longevity. I just got this thing because I did my homework. I figured out which was the best one out there. And today, I can tell you, in my opinion, it's still the very best one out there by a long shot. They've also got 4 steam and heat vents. 2 in the back, 2 in the front. The 2 in the front have protective covering, as you can see. Now what that does, and I also read this in the message boards, is that people that have saunas from the competitors that only have 2 vents, their back is hot and their feet are cold. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would a manufacturer only put 2 vents in? It can't be that hard to put 2 more vents in like Longevity Resources has done here with their saunas. It just doesn't make any sense, unless they're just cheaping out. But anyway, I would only buy one that has 4 vents. I wouldn't even buy one that has 2 vents. I just don't think it's worth it. And the other thing is, you can see how big these units are. But the fact is that if I close the doors, this thing actually fits right through the door of any bedroom, or in probably any room in your house. And also it actually has wheels built into the back that are kind of hidden away. You can't even see them, but they're built into the back. So to get it in here, I just picked up the front of this thing and I just rolled it in. One person can roll it in and roll it out really easy out of any room. So that's another great feature. The other thing that they've done is they've actually made a separate remote control. And so if I'm sitting in here, which I quite often am, after I have a sauna, I like to, you know, I'm pretty relaxed and I'd like to maybe stay in an extra 5 minutes. Well, with this one I can do that, because I can actually sit it somewhere where I can just reach out and add 5 minutes. Just hit the button, add 5 minutes. But a lot of the competitors I found actually had the remote control built into the door or the side, And it would actually mean you'd have to get out of the unit completely to then turn around and add 5 minutes so you can get back in and enjoy that. That kind of breaks the, the whole relaxation pattern. So not a good idea. Again, I think that if you look at the competing products and you look at Longevity's, they've really nailed it. It's almost like they've been reading through the forums and they're looking at all of the problems with all the competing products, and then they fixed all of those problems and put it in here. The only thing is, I know from talking to them that they actually have been selling, I think, the same unit for 20 years, because they told me that someone that has got a unit 20 years old, the doors are still perfect. They're not sagging or hanging or anything like the single door units. So they've been doing this for a long time. These guys just know what they're doing. Now, if we wanted to set this thing up so we could have a sauna, this actually is really easy. So the first thing that we would do is we would come over here and I just make sure that my water level's full. You can see the red line there and it says filter red line. Fill that up with distilled water, only use distilled water. And I find that I usually run my sauna at about 114 degrees for about 20 minutes. That usually eats up about half of the water. So you can see my water level right now is at about 45%. So that's because my last sauna, I basically used that amount of water. Now what I would do is I would load it up, make sure I have all the water full. I would close the doors and I would grab a towel and I'd put it over top of the neck area here, the head area, because as this thing heats up, I want to try and maintain the temperature and the steam inside until I get inside of it. And then at that point, I would actually take the remote control here and I would turn the power on and I would start adding time. As soon as I add 5 minutes, the whole thing's going to turn on. And then I would usually crank that up to about 20, 30 minutes. Check my temperature here. The temperature right now is at 114 degrees Fahrenheit. I know I'm in Canada, I should have it on Celsius. The button there lets me switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit, but I've just never switched it. Now the little display here, it just flips between two things. One of them is the countdown timer, so it shows me I have 30 minutes left because I just added that. But also it tells me the internal temperature of this unit is 78 degrees. So what I usually do is I usually just leave this thing, I'll go do a few more chores, I'll come back in 10 or 15 minutes. When the temperature is about 100 degrees on the inside, then I'll put the towel around my neck and I'll jump in. But before I do that, I might check the time, because if I'm down to 15 minutes, I might just quickly add another 5 minutes so that I get my 20 minutes, okay? But like I said, even if I wanted to add more, I make it real handy and I can just reach this thing once I'm on the inside. Now, here's the great thing. Once the timer is done, it shuts off automatically. You don't have to hit the button, I just did that to show you. But it shuts off automatically when the timer is done, when it gets to the end. And then, cleaning this thing up is like super easy. These things are basically really, really low maintenance. Like once I get out, I usually have a little towel here, or I have like a little rug where I put my sandals. And then I just take a dry towel and I dry the whole thing off so that there's no sort of visible moisture, which is usually pretty easy just with one towel. And then I'm done until the next time. So that's it. I hope that helped you if you're on a journey to buy a sauna. I think I hit a lot of really important points that I've done a ton of research on, so I'm pretty knowledgeable in this stuff. Especially this one right here. I've actually been using it for a year and a half every day. It looks like it's brand new. I couldn't see how in 10 years from now it would look any different than that. So anyway, please share the video with your friends. Subscribe to the channel. I will put links to Longevity Resources website called ozonegenerator.com and to the sauna in the description below so that you can get quick access to it. I'm also going to produce another video that shows you how to set up an ozone sauna, so watch for that one. Thank you.